tonsillitis, and he was hospitalized. This was just over a week ago, and then he rolled his ankle in his training camp a few days ago. You can see it's taped up. He's limping a little bit. So we'll see if his opponent is a gentleman and doesn't attack that ankle. Then I'm sure he's going to have as good a chance as anyone. But either way, it's going to be a tough match for him because Victor Silvério is a very aggressive, very hungry jiu-jitsu fighter.
Nick, you've spent a lot of time in promotions like the UFC, fighting in some very oppressive environments against some huge opponents. If you knew your opponent was injured like that, is that something you'd seek out?
Absolutely. I'm not going to lie to you, Josh. I mean, depends how hungry you are as a competitor, what your ambitions are. In something like MMA, you can't afford to show any signs of weakness, and if you smell some, you've got to go after it. However, this is BJJ, it's another game. Let's see how Victor reacts to it.
Well, Kit Dale pulling guard here. That left foot we saw taped up, currently under the armpit of Victor Silvério.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for him to do anything other than pull guard. It's going to be hard to stand on your feet and fight when you've got an injury like that, so it's probably the wisest choice. Although he is opening himself up to a straight foot lock there. I don't think it would take much pressure from Silvério to get the submission with that.
Well, let's see if he's aware of that. Of course, Kit Dale coming off a disappointing performance at the last Metamoris against Gary Tonin, who of course we're going to see later on this evening against Marcin Held. Victor Silvério, though, since we saw him in the brown belt Kumite a couple of years ago, he's really pressed forward, become very aggressive in competition, and we're seeing some of that passing now.
And there was a very nice athletic kickback he used to clear the hook. You can see he's got very explosive power. He uses his hips in a very dynamic fashion. Tough fighter. Now he's squeezing Kit's top knee towards the ground. Again, that's one of the key things we're going to see here tonight. A lot of guys defending with this Z guard, 93 style guard, and if you can just take care of that top leg and that top knee, you completely neutralize that. He's squared his hips now, which is, again, another correct thing to do in this scenario. If you square the hips up, it takes away the power of the Z guard.
Dale perhaps looking to wrap up the lapel in some manner. I think this is another example of a huge experience differential. Kit Dale lauded as being one of the guys who progressed very, very quickly. Of course, Victor Silvério started when he was just 15 years old. Got his black belt December of 2013.
Yeah, only 23 years old. Absolutely coursing with testosterone, and you're at your athletic peak at that age. It's going to be a handful no matter what.
Top position here for Silvério, looking to drive that knee through the middle. Position we saw frequently in our last match between Max Campos and Darragh O'Connell.
You're right,
Only
Josh.
a couple of minutes in, though.
Kit got his black belt in just 4.5 years, and to be honest, if he's going to take the fight with an injured foot, he's just going to have to draw a line under that and not feel the pain. You know, he can't be thinking about that at this level. He's just got to accept it and deal with it.
I mean, I think he's recently accepted that perhaps he wants to get a slightly higher level of training, recently moving to the US to further those jiu-jitsu ambitions.
It's really not a good place for Dale now. So Vera is really starting to clamp down. He's setting up a very powerful pass here. He's starting to clear that top knee. If he just gets past it, he's going to have this pass. Dale using the grips well to defend though.
Bit of gamesmanship from Silvério, perhaps, looking around, taking his time. We're going to see an explosion and change of pace.
Dale trying to use the lapel to wrap up and control the elbow. Silvério didn't get it though. See, those hips are just getting ready to explode forwards.
Bit of a stagnant position here for a few moments. Both guys knowing that the margin for error is so small, really can shift on a dime.
It will be interesting to see how the tonsillitis will affect Kit's cardio as the minutes tick by.
Certainly going to be a consideration, as we've already seen tonight.
Kit using some interesting lapel variations here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he does with those. It's all very well to establish the grips, but what's he going to do from there? Is he just going to frustrate Silvério? Is he going to sweep to a top position, or is he going to start hunting for those submissions?
Stretching out to make a little bit of space. Wonder what he's going to set up. He might be trying to sweep him over to his right side. That's where the hole is. Again, that powerful kickback from Silvério.
Yeah, huge back step. He's got to control the legs on the way round here, though.
This is not good for Dale. Constant pressure, switching of the hip, changing direction laterally. Very confusing and difficult to adapt for your opponent on the ground.
Yeah, Dara did a good job of framing on the head, though. Keeping Silverio at bay for now. But perhaps, I think, Nick, the momentum in this one really going the way of Victor Silverio at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. He looks like the predator right now, and he's determined to get that pass. And I think it's only a matter of time, to be honest.
Kit's a very wily jiu-jitsu fighter, though, as we all know. He's a big proponent of conceptual-based jiu-jitsu, and he's always thinking in new directions. You can never underestimate a fighter like this.
Again, a brief scramble, but Dale managing to retain that guard. See if we see another kickback pass from Silverio. We've already seen the kind of explosiveness he can have in those positions.
This is not a great position for Kit Dale, especially with the knee coming onto his chest. It's very difficult when you're at this level. You're playing against a top player like this, a pressure passer. It's not good when he gets his knee to your chest, although Kit's re-established a little bit of distance.
Yeah, Victor Silverio, double gold at the Rio Open last year. Of course, brown belt, took World Pro Championships and CBJJ World Championships.
Kid threatening with a sweep. Threatening with a leg attack.
Oh, and he manages to off-balance Silverio. Not able to come up on top, though. Let's see if he's hunting for a toe hold here, perhaps.
Yeah, it might be difficult for him to get a toe hold on this particular leg from this position. Kit might try to clear the legs and come up, but it's going to be difficult with his leg through the middle like that. Not wise to start a leg lock fight now when you've got an injured ankle.
We saw in the last fight, we're seeing again here, both guys making such strong grips on the pant legs, because control of the legs on your way up is so important, isn't it?
Definitely. Kit's figure forward onto his knee over here.
Bit of 50-50 guard here.
This can be a very frustrating position for the top player.
Halfway through this match now. 50-50 can, without the use of heel hooks, become a little bit of a stagnant position.
Kit smiling, always a good sportsman.
I think this slower pace is really going to suit Kit, and Victor needs to start pressing the pace. Got to take advantage of the fact that Kit wasn't coming into this 100%.
He's still trying to work that 50-50 position, trying to push the knee out to the left and maybe off-balance him. Very precarious position for the fighter on the top, as you say, if he hasn't got the option of heel hooks. Difficult for him because whenever he wants to set up the pass, he's always in danger of losing his balance.
Yeah, all Kit Dale's got to do is really extend his hips, and he stands a good chance of sitting Silverio all the way back down.
Kit's created a nice angle here. We'll see if he can capitalize on it, although it will be difficult, as Silverio has his left arm out to base. This is a position we see a lot in modern jiu-jitsu, this 50-50 style tie-up. And some people claim that it's causing too many stalemates and that the rules should be adjusted to counter this. I think it's just a sign of the evolution of the sport. Fighters will use any position and exploit it.
And it's like anything, isn't it? We see that position come in one year, it's causing a lot of problems. The next year, everybody's got a whole set of different techniques and circumstances for it.
Exactly, that's why a good jiu-jitsu instructor will always teach you to remain fluid and not base your game around any specific technique, and always be open-minded to new things.
Coming up to the 2/3 mark.
potential omoplata setup here.
What's Kickdale got to do to make use of this position here, to really make it pay off? He's done the hard part of off-balancing Silverio, but right now we're getting stuck in a bit of a stalemate.
It's very difficult for him to come up with both of his legs in that position because his legs stop him from sitting up to complete the sweep and come up on top. So he has to get his legs out so that he can sit up. But the problem with that is as he removes his legs, he removes his control. Gives opportunity back to Silverio. Here we go, ankle attack or leg attack from Silverio. But Kit controlling the center well.
Essentially just a reversal of position here. Kickdale coming up on top, going to look for some grips to try and break the legs of Silverio open. Much easier said than done, though.
I got a quote here from Kickdale saying, "I would much rather lose to somebody in a really good fight than to win in a really boring manner." However, he might have had to make a compromise on that ethos, coming in less than 100% today.
Very difficult position. Again, same thing we saw a few minutes ago, but reversed over to the other side now. Now Kit fighting from the top. You can see Kit's really sweating. He's tired. But still, he's playing a smart game here, neutralizing Silverio to a large extent.
He's sweating, Nick, yeah, but he's not. He doesn't seem to be breathing too heavy. It could just be the lights there underneath. I think he's still got a bit of gas in the tank, yeah.
Could be. He's played a very smart game. Perhaps he was looking around for the clock.
Oh, Kit trying to come back on top now. We see the power in that 50-50 guard, and Silverio choosing to disengage here, back to the feet. We know Silverio has some very aggressive and strong grips standing. A lot of guys in GF team choosing to fight very aggressively for those takedowns.
Kit keeping that injured ankle back, protecting it. He knows a standing fight is not what he wants right now. Good chance of him jumping guard again here. He has to be careful not to open up for the pass as he does that. He's favoring that ankle, obviously.
I'd be threatening at least to sweep that damaged ankle as a distraction at the very least.
2.5 minutes to go in this match. Quite interesting that Silverio hasn't made any attempts to use the Ashiba Rai or ankle picks or any sort of attacks on that injury of Kit's. Maybe I spoke too soon.
Yeah, both trying to fight for a strong grip here. Dale with the inside grips, but the head position of Silverio and looking.
Nice, nice.
Tried the Kataguruma, didn't quite find it.
Got to respect Kit for the trying that.
Yeah, he definitely off-balanced Silverio with that. He had to counter.
A bit of Aussie rules football in the background of Kit Dale. Obviously a lot of power and endurance in that sport.
Yeah, Kit is very naturally athletic, very explosive, very intelligent jiu-jitsu fighter. Not an easy opponent for anyone.
Dale with the inside control now. But again, those grips so hard to break when you're standing, so strong and powerful. Oh, good attempt to run through on the knee there, but just running out of space.
Yeah, he actually looked like he got a hand on Kit's leg, but Kit did a great job circling out from it.
Only a minute to go. It'll be a surprise if we see a submission in this match, but each of these fighters will want to look to finish strong to gain the favor of the crowd and the internet.
Let's see a flying triangle or flying armbar from someone, please.
Well, this is the time to push the pace. It's all about submissions here at Polaris. And we move into the last 40 seconds. Attempted drop Serenagi from Kit Dale to no avail.
Let's see if we see a flying arm lock or a flying triangle. That would be fantastic.
To see somebody just go for something. Obviously no penalty if you don't quite make it. The last 25 seconds here, counting down.
Nice little misdirection by Silverio there. Kit didn't fall for it.
Oh,
Pulls
and
guard
Kit
again.
Dale
Goes
looks
for
to pull guard.
almost.
Into the leg lock position, but I think we're going to run this one out of time. Dying seconds as Victor Silverio Well, Kit Dale looking for the ankle lock, but perhaps a little bit too little, too late. And our second match here at Polaris goes to a draw.
That was a good effort by Kit right at the end there. As Josh said, perhaps too little, too late, but I've got to tell you, he's really earned my respect tonight. Not only turning up to compete with such a bad week leading up to it, but the way he performed, you know, as a real warrior.
Very impressive. I wonder if Silvério was being a gentleman and not attacking that ankle. Either way, it was an exceptional performance by Kit Dale. He really seemed to neutralize Silvério, who's a more explosive, some would say more powerful fighter. Very, very interesting match.
So that was 2 fights, 2 draws. Let's go to Josh Palmer. He's going to speak to both fighters.